In a world where Razorback fans reach to YouTube to listen to a big mouth, Ty Hudson. Introducing Ty Hudson. Okay. I shouldn't have done that. It just came to me at the last second. What's going on? Pinky out. Oh, that really hurt the throat. So Kelly, I took your advice. I went with the beanie. I just said, forget about it. I'm not dealing with the hair. I'm not dealing with it today. Not gonna happen. How you guys doing? How was your Monday through Thursday? Or well, wait, no, we were live Wednesday, right? So how was your Thursday and Friday? No, wait, was that last night? When the hell was that game? That was Wednesday night, right? Am I crazy? Well. Sup, Ty? What's going on, Mike Ewing? Jay, U of A Razorbacks fan. Don't forget to like and share while you wait. Oh, right. Every time I forget to do this. Every time. You ready? Here we go. It's the intro. Yeah, my kids are loud. They're so loud. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but here we go. You ready for this intro? Let's do this. Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans everywhere? Welcome to the one and only Pig Trail Network live show. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check out the content. If you would be so kind, down below in the description box, there's some stuff there for you to check out. You can like, comment, share the content, do whatever, however. I'd really appreciate you checking those links out. And yeah. After the show, of course, right? No, you can do that now. I'd prefer that you'd share it now. I know there's going to be, it happens a lot. We'll have people come in towards the end, and they're like, I finally made it. Ty, refresh me on everything that you already went over. So it's part of the reason why I like to wait, too. Dre Greenlaw saying his praises on Twitter. Whose? Ty, thoughts on kid from A-State transferring in from Mike Griffith. All right, well, we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, we have that. Look, the information on that kid is strange. I couldn't find his recruiting profile, and it was because, he's supposedly a senior or whatever. He's got a couple of years. Somehow he has 2 years left to play, but I was going too far back down Arkansas State's recruiting. I went to 2016. I was trying to think, what year would he have? And so it turns out he was a JUCO kid. He's JUCO. Then he went to Arkansas State, and I guess his first year on the field, he made all conference and was defensive player of the year. Someone's gonna have to clean that up for me because I don't have all the detail on him, but that's pretty impressive. Damn it, Logan, give us Ty already. Hang on a second. My kid's on the other side of the door with their iPad just blasting. It is so loud. What's up, Ty? What's going on, Scott? This is the joy of doing this from your home, right? In our tiny little home, our tiny little house where the walls are that thin. Did you guys get the storm today? How many of you had your power flickering? I didn't think. I thought we were going to get slammed pretty hard there for a lot longer. What's your point spread for the basketball game against Ole Miss? I say we win by 13. Yeah, we'll get to that in just a second. Listening from Korea, go Hogs. How about that? Scott Painter. I think you're in our Discord. At least that looks a lot like a logo that I've seen in our Discord. Oh, yeah, we need to share that, don't we? Hang on, I had to let me pull up the Discord really quick. How about that? We'll pull that up. I completely shut my computer down when that storm was rolling through today. And so I've got to pull everything back up. All right. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Here we go. Create invite. Then you got to edit the invite link. Never expire. And no limit. Generate new link. Copy and paste. Here we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Of course, I'm a little bit ahead of you guys, obviously, but there you go. All right. Let's see. I certainly hope we get that 5-star from Georgia. That would be a great pickup and a big upgrade at tackle. Yeah. Man, there goes. This is a flash flood warning now. My phone has been just blowing up. It's crazy. Kelly, thank you for sharing on Twitter. That's the only notification I've gotten so far. Garrett Lewis has his sleeves rolled up to his elbows. So I want to start off by saying this really quick. What are we at? How many people in here? Okay, 41. We'll fill up because I hate repeating myself sometimes. I wanted to go in on Mike Leach really quick at Mississippi State. I wanted to start there because our Discord, we really had people comparing, and this wasn't just on our Discord, on Twitter, the Mike Leach hire at Mississippi State to the Bobby Petrino hire at Arkansas, the first go around. I don't know what he's going to do at Mississippi State. It's a good hire for them. It's a really good hire for Mississippi State. It would have been a good hire here. Hell, I would have taken him because it's immediately you're getting pulled out of 2-10. You know you're gonna put a great offense on the field. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I say that this is the SEC where they actually play defense, unlike the Pac and the AC, or the Big 12. There's talent on the defensive side of the ball in this conference, but the way of the game, though, and I think people are still not really understanding the evolution of football. Guys, it's 7-on-7 football now. Defenses, even Alabama, you remember how great those guys, you look at the talent they have on the defensive side of the ball. Their staff from top to bottom on the defensive side of the ball. Those are the best names in college football other than maybe Venables at Clemson and that staff. Obviously, LSU's got a good defensive staff. And then you talk about the talent that they recruit. You talk about the level that these guys play at. Even Alabama has struggled on defense and has for the last couple of years. They've really started to go down a little bit. Hell, even LSU and even some of their better years, they still were giving up yards. Was that last year their run defense was really bad? But I mean, you saw they weren't really that great. Nowhere near what they were. Nowhere near what they are this year. That's the name of the game. Even in the SEC, defenses are struggling. This might be the perfect timing for Mike Leach to walk into the SEC. I don't know. But I'm going to say they play grown man football on the defensive side of the ball in the SEC. That's what he's going to have to deal with, that week-to-week grind. For them, I honestly see him as a guy that wins 7, maybe 8 games every year, which is, again, Arkansas would take that in a heartbeat right now. Mississippi State, I think they're okay with that, with the hopes of having that Houston Nutt-like kind of climb. Remember him, like every third or fourth year, you could expect Houston Nutt to compete in the SEC West. I think that's kind of what they're hoping to get out of Leach. Leach is, what is he coming up on? Is he in his 60s yet? I can't remember. I couldn't remember if he was already 60 or if he was coming up on it. So you wonder how far away retirement is and everything. It's a great hire for them. But people have got to pump their brakes. This is not the second coming of pre-LSU or pre-second go-around with Louisville Bobby Petrino. This isn't Arkansas-esque when they, the hiring of Bobby Petrino. That's not what this is, okay? He's not the CEO, the judge, jury, and executioner of his football teams. I've read articles about how he just lets his defensive staff do whatever, and he's just purely an offensive guy. He coaches guys up, sure. He's a head coach. He's a player's coach. His kids love playing for him. But he's going to leave his staff alone, and he's not done a very good job on the defensive side of the staff or defensive side of the ball. Everywhere he's been, they've struggled. They've been terrible. You have to ask yourself, what are the odds that that's successful and sustainable in the SEC? If we're talking about Petrino 2010, okay, all right, that's 10 wins and then 11 the next year. BCS bowl berth. Of course, we don't have the BCS anymore, but that's what Petrino was the first go around. Ever since, I'm telling you, I said this on the Hog Talk podcast a little while back, the poison's out of the snake. I call it the Tiger Woods effect. You get busted with your pants down, and just something changes in these guys. I don't know. I think Bobby Petrino has that CEO mentality. You hear about that, just ruthless. And I think ever since all that happened, his life, I mean, holy cow, everything changed for him. And I don't know how much he actually changed, but he had to do things differently. He had to act a certain way, right? And the wheels fell off. His second go-around at Louisville, that one really bad year, he's jobless, right? That's not what – I don't think that's Mike Leach either. I don't think he's second go-around at Louisville, Bobby Petrino. I think he's going to do really well at Mississippi State. You want my opinion? The best coach they've had, and probably, I don't know a whole hell of a lot about Mississippi State history. He's the best coach behind Dan Mullins that they've hired in the last 25 years. He's not gonna get these guys ranked in the top 3. All right, he's gonna get some upsets. That's what the air raid. That's what you can win with this offense. Our Discord though, and some of the stuff I was reading on Twitter, and even I had to agree with a local infamous character in our Discord known as Ronnie. I had to actually agree with him. People are kind of overreacting. Is he a speed bump for Arkansas? You bet your ass. But it doesn't mean that Arkansas can't overcome Mike Leach. That's all I'll say. I don't know. I think Leach will do okay in the SEC, but will be average. That's where I'm at. I agree. I don't know. I'm okay. Start over, please. Okay, Chris Starkey. All right. Leach is 58. Okay, I knew he was coming up on 60. Leach will probably give him 1 9-win season. I could see that. I could honestly see him doing really well. Mississippi State's got some decent talent. We can't overlook. I wouldn't be surprised year 1 he does something pretty good. I mean, he's that caliber of coach where, yeah, he's capable of getting an upset. He's capable one time in maybe 5 years getting you to an 11-win season. Go back and look at Washington State. His overall record at Washington State is not what people think that it is. I thought I had it pulled up, but I don't. His Texas Tech time was far more impressive. He had a couple of really good years and one really great year there towards the end before he left Texas Tech and obviously was kind of pushed out the door there and wound up at Washington State. He's a very average coach with an exciting offense. I think that's that's his sparkle on the shelf. That's what makes him shine. That's what gives him that, oh, wow, his offense is great. He runs a Big 12 air raid offense. We'll see how it works out in the SEC. I think it's a good hire for them. Again, I think it's a really good hire for them. But people, again, they're putting him up on this pedestal like he's the second coming of Dan Mullins and maybe better at Mississippi State. That is not the case. I just don't see that happening. I don't know. Arkansas will be bottom 3 for the next 5 years. Okay, Manny, cool. Maybe. That's certainly a possibility. Mind-blowing insight, Manny. You are truly an intelligent life form. Leach turned around Texas Tech, and when he went to Washington State was the worst in the country. Turned 2 programs around. Go back and look at his first 3 years. He eventually made them a pretty decent program, had one really great year at Washington State. It's a good hire for them. It is. No one's going to doubt that. Manny, I think, is a Mississippi State fan. Yeah, laugh out loud. We've had an MSU fan. Sure did. Petrino did have the good year with Lamar Jackson. NFL division round this weekend. Oh, yeah, Chiefs and who is it, Texans? I'm going to be real with you. I don't care if the Rams aren't in it. I'm just like, all right, wake me up for the Super Bowl. I don't really care. If I had to pick a team to root for, if the Rams aren't in it, man, I don't know. I like the Chiefs because they're close. I've got a lot of friends that are Chiefs fans. Arkansas needs to move to the Big 12. Manny C. Except, wait, they're actually pretty damn competitive in everything but football, Manny. Your argument just, I don't know. Doesn't hold up outside of football. Baseball, they'll light that ass up. That's what they'll do in baseball. So, sup, Ty Whooping. So what's going on, Brad? Hope all's well. Yes, Ty, let's be real. Someone is going to be bad, and all the new coaches in the SEC. What do you mean, Mike? You're going to have to clear that up. I know you guys are a little bit behind me when I go on these rants. Sometimes a little bit, you're behind, and then I'm having to catch up with what you're. This sucks. I have to hate Leach. I like Leach. I think his antics behind the podium are hilarious. you wonder if he's already kind of gotten in trouble with that, there at the end. And there's some people who believe that's why Arkansas moved on from Leach. I don't know. Let's see. I think he came to state so he couldn't stick it in. Okay. He wanted to be the coach here, and in 2 chances he didn't get the job. I hope it doesn't happen, but he's going to be gunning. I really don't think he gives a damn. He doesn't strike me as the type of coach that holds on to grudges. He just likes to poke fun at everybody. I don't know. Did you see Musselman's comments on Chaney? I did not, Lucas. I did not. Let's see. And they've been competitive in the SEC. If you're talking about Mississippi State, yeah, under Dan Mullins. How often does a Dan Mullins come around to a school like Mississippi State? The timing was right. They brought in Mullins. The guy turned them around. The view of Mississippi State pre-Dan Mullins was pretty damn close to what Arkansas is right now. I love Leach, but I hate the state. You need a beanie with a flamingo on it. All right, let's moving on from Leach. I hope I don't hurt the Mississippi State fans' feelings in chat, but it's a great hire for them. I don't think he's a world beater. I don't think I could not believe the reactions, not only in our Discord, but in on social media. You'd think that they'd hired like Nick Saban. For them, maybe it is their Nick Saban. For them, winning 6-7 games a year, that's pretty damn good for Mississippi State. They were really good under Dan Mullins. I'm telling you, he's that once in a lifetime kind of coach for that program. You could argue maybe that's what Petrino was to Arkansas. You could absolutely make that argument. Both schools are in a similar situation. Mississippi State's climb isn't as steep as Arkansas's. Arkansas's got a huge challenge to overcome, and let's hope Pittman can do it. How do you do that? You do that with recruiting yourself out of the pit. That's how you do it. So Arkansas, how about this? Broderick Jones, this 5-star offensive tackle who's currently committed to Georgia. He was recruited by Sam Pittman, obviously, while he was there. He's out of Lithonia, Georgia, for this 2020 class. He is open to taking some more visits. He's going to be on campus in Fayetteville on January 17th. Just not that far away. Immediately following, he's going to be in Tennessee, the next day. That usually doesn't bode well, I'm going to be honest with you. When you got a kid coming in, especially someone that highly touted who's going to come in, and then next day he's on his way to his next visit. Here's how it looks. January 17th, he'll be in Fayetteville. January 18th, he'll be in Tennessee, and then he's got a gap of time there. He's got a few days. He won't be back out on another OV, on another official visit until January 25th, and then he's going to take 6 days later, he'll be in Auburn on January 31st. See how that works? You see if you want my honest opinion, I think that the only reason he's taking an official visit to Arkansas is because of, obviously, Sam Pittman. Does that mean they have a shot? Sure, get them on campus. You get these kids who think of Fayetteville as just, it's just this small town, whatever. And then they get on campus and they're like, oh, my God, the facilities are definitely SEC worthy. The town's pretty badass. Fayetteville's all right. Northwest Arkansas's all right. There's some opportunities there, and there's certainly there's a way that people who've never been here view Northwest Arkansas, and then when they get here, they've changed their minds. I don't know how often we read that. I don't know how often I've come across that reading recruiting articles about these kids who are like, I had no idea that Fayetteville offered what they had. And that helps. You get these kids on campus, you have a shot. You want my honest opinion? I'm not playing Russian roulette with that one bullet. I'm not. I don't think Arkansas gets it. I could be wrong. I hope that I am. But I don't like their odds with him simply because it's strange to me that he starts his OV on January 17th, and then next day he's already on the road to somewhere else. And that's not uncommon. Kids do that, right? They do that. But it seems like to me the school that they're kind of iffy on, that's how it begins. You're only there for however long, and then the next day you're on the road to the next school. We'll see. Anything can happen. If they manage to pick him up, this is I don't know. 24/7 Sports loves to do these projections, and I really hope these high school kids don't get into this. They read the recruiting profiles, but they have projections. They have him as a first rounder. Now, up until this morning, and I mentioned this on the Hog Talk podcast, they had him as a top 10 draft pick. They have since taken that down. So they just say first round is his projection in the NFL draft, assuming obviously he's only wherever he goes for 3 years. The comparison is to Laramie Tunzel. You guys remember him? It would be an unbelievable get. He's currently at the Under Armour All-America game. Did that already happen yet? I thought that happened already. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're just practicing. We could go on about his offers, but when you've got 5 stars next to your name, he is considered by just about everyone as a top three offensive tackle in all of high school football. He's a number 3 player in the state of Georgia. 6'5", 275, versatile, big man, 275 pounds. Yeah, if he were to come here, yeah, Pittman would definitely pack some weight on. Would be an instant, I don't want to say an instant impact player on the offensive line, but there's no doubt he would, he'd find his way onto the field year one, no doubt. But he was a hard commit. He's been committed to Georgia for a while. April 26th of 2018. That's how long he's been committed to Georgia. He's a big Sam Pittman fan from what I understand. He is being recruited by Matt Luke at Georgia, and at Arkansas he's being recruited by Brad Davis and Sam Pittman. So also, Brennan Scott, a 3-star. A lot of people believe he's one of the most underrated players at that position. 6'1", 235-pound middle linebacker out of Dallas, Texas. Was committed to Kansas, decommitted. His recruiting kind of blew up there. I don't know his official 40 time. I've heard he's an athletic. He's pretty athletic. He's vastly underrated, I've been told. He has an official visit on the same day, January 17th, to Fayetteville. So we'll see what they do. But, this kid's offer list is unreal. USC, Arizona State, I believe LSU, Texas A&M. The list just goes on. It's unreal how many. I think he's got a total of 33 offers. I don't know how many of those are committable. Remember, we've talked about that. There's a difference between committable and non-committable offers. Sometimes they just get an offer out there on the table just to let them know, hey, we are interested. It's weird to me how that works out. Really what it is you're a backup plan. If A and B don't work out, whatever you are to us, maybe you are plan B, maybe you're plan C, but if those don't work out, we've already got the offer out, and then maybe eventually we'll take your commitment. Only schools like Alabama and LSU and Clemson can really do that, but Arkansas does it you see Arkansas do this with the 3 stars. We saw Alabama do this with Darius Philon, and I don't know if you guys remember his recruiting process. They left him at the altar. He wanted to go to Bama. Arkansas was a second choice. We made fun. We called it not made fun of him, but we made fun of the situation, how schools treat these kids sometimes. We called it, that kid got Alabama'd. Okay. Anyways, Brennan Scott though, I think several. I think a lot of these are committable offers, if I'm being honest. So he was committed to KU, but he has decommitted and he'll be in town sometime soon. Arkansas did get a transfer from Arkansas State. What the hell was that kid's name? Jones or Jacobs? I just had it. I just saw it earlier. Jerry Jacobs. Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. He was a JUCO, and then he went to state. He had a really good year, and then he got hurt last year. Supposedly only played in or less than 4 games. He was able to redshirt. He will have 2 years to play. Jerry Jacobs is 5'11", 195 pounds. Arkansas had a decommit today from a safety, and here you have a 5'11", 195-pound corner that commits. I don't think that's why that kid decommitted, by the way. You're talking about a safety and a corner, or 2 different positions. I saw some people saying that. But, yeah, he committed to Arkansas State in the 2018. He ended up committing early 2018 and playing. But his hometown, Hutchinson, Kansas, he's out of South Cobb High School. So, all right. Jerry Jacobs, yeah. All right. Trying to adjust to this emo look you have, Ty. Well, okay, so Azazian, I was talking about, and if you were in our Discord, okay, you would know what this is about. But I was talking about how much I hate dealing with my hair. So, I don't know. Sup, Ty? Just got here. What's going on, Tony Brown? Mark Douglas, the man himself. Getting him to an official visit is a win in of itself. Shows the importance of relationships to draw some level of interest. Yeah, and I'm assuming you're talking about the 5-star. Absolutely. That's a victory. Chad Morris was able to convince some kids to take some trips to Fayetteville, and you saw what he did. All right, Chad Morris If Chad Morris can flip some of these kids, maybe Sam can. I don't know that he had any huge flips, actually, now that I think back on it. But he did manage to get some guys on campus. But, yeah, getting him on campus is a big deal. It's extra big deal. He's already bigger than most of our offensive linemen. I don't know about that. But, yeah, our offensive line, they got to put some meat on. I couldn't agree more. Trouble with him, he is clearly isn't an early enrollee. I don't know who you're talking about. You talking about the JUCO kid or the Arkansas State transfer? Yeah, I don't have any more information on him other than I've been told he has 2 years to play. He's known Pittman for 2 years. We got a shot. You've got a shot when you got Pittman involved, period. Whether you know Pittman or not, I think. Pittman has done an incredible job of getting these kids to at least consider Arkansas. And listen, he's going to swing and miss on guys, right? We have to consider, and we've talked about this before, but we have to consider what Arkansas is right now. Okay, you're gonna have to pull yourself out of the bottom, and that is the perception of Arkansas. They're at the very bottom. You're a part of yet another rebuild. You know, only thing you can really sell these kids, other than hey, I'm Pittman, I'm great, or hey, I'm Step, I'm like a great wide receiver coach. Other than that, or Odom, I'm Barry Odom. I was a head coach. Do you like that? I'm Barry Odom. You've got to, you're going to have to sell early playing time, getting on campus, not getting redshirted. Hey, here's your steps to getting you to the pros, because I'm going to be real with you. These kids, even the 3 stars, they truly believe that they're NFL bound, okay? And that's something you got to sell to these kids. This staff can definitely sell that. There's no doubt about that, so that's what gives you hope. But please don't get upset, all right? Chad Morris, if the one thing we give him credit for, he was a wonderful recruiter, an elite recruiter, if you want my opinion. And even he kind of struggled. His biggest win, other than flipping Woods over from SMU to Arkansas, which was, I mean, he was going to follow Chad Morris wherever he went. But he picked up Dorian Gerald. Okay, he was the number 1, number 2 ranked JUCO defensive end. That was a big one. I'm trying to remember the rest of that class, but. And then that next class, he was able to do something big. He got a whole year under his belt, a whole cycle under his belt, and he was able to bring in, I mean, obviously, he lucked out. He had some special kids down in Warren and Little Rock, but maybe Sammy P can do the same thing. That's how they do it, Ty, yeah. I had to leave for a minute. Is Petrino at Mississippi State? Apparently he is, Fishman. Jerry Jacobs spent a year at Hutchinson under Ryan Rhodes. Okay, that's the connection. We aren't stealing from Arkansas State. Rhodes is just taking what was his first. What's up, TTV? Your boy Judd. What's going on, man? Made it to 2 streams in a row. New record. Look at you. You go. Hornsby. Nothing new on him. There's nothing to report. This is that. Remember, we talked about this. There's going to be gaps of time where we don't hear anything on some of these kids. Hornsby still going to be in town. I think January 24th. You have the offensive tackle out of Conway. Golly, what's that kid's name? I'm blanking on names tonight. But the 3-star kid who's currently committed to Ole Miss. He's going to be. I think it was him. No, he'll be in town. I think January 24th. It's the kid out of St. Louis, I believe. The 3-star tackle that's going to end up coming early. We thought he was going to be here January 24th. He's going to be here January 17th. I don't have the list in front of me. I don't. That would have been a much worse situation for us, Fishman. I don't know. Would it? I don't know. Like I said, I think the poison is out of Petrino. I just didn't know Barry Odom walks like an Egyptian. Walk like an Egyptian. Robert Scott. God, thank you. My man, Eric Jackson. I'm so happy to see you in chat. How you doing, Eric? I got some good news on you, my man. Made my day. Oh, I hope I'm not putting you on the spot. I don't care. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. And I'm Azazian says, just accept the sexy fro, Ty. It's your destiny. Guys, it's a mess under there. And here's the thing, I can wet it down and comb it. It just never fell. Something, I'll always have the alfalfa, boink, on the back of the head. So, all right. we got Leach out of the way. We got caught up a little bit on the transfers and recruiting. If there's any more recruiting questions, I don't know, you might want to wait till I've gathered my thoughts a little bit on recruiting. But if you guys have anything else, have you already talked about Ole Miss tomorrow, Ole Miss basketball? No, I have not. We're about to touch on that here in just a second. Trying to read chat here. Let's see. You guys like that, though, right? Walk like an Egyptian. Oh, look at me. I coached at Mizzou. Okay, we'll move on. You guys, no more recruiting questions. Let's see here. Where's my stuff? Where's my numbers? Yeah, did you guys? Oh, man, Neil Peart, rest in peace, man. Rush, loved Rush. 2112, excellent album, by the way. Just about, Rush had some iffy, but man, they were great. What a elite rock band, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. I thought about behind me putting up more rock posters, trying to build the identity back here a little bit, and then I'm like, wait, but there's a lot of sports. We've got a Star Wars reference, we've got Fallout reference behind me. We don't have room for rock, but there's this really kick-ass Rush poster that I always wanted to put behind me. Big Zeppelin fan, by the way. That's my band. Led Zeppelin. Love me some Zepp. Yeah, Ole Miss is going to be an interesting one. They're not very good, but oddly enough, they're at 9-5, 0-1 in conference. They're weird this year. Their record, they started off okay, 4-0. They beat Arkansas State. Kudos to you, Ole Miss, for doing that. So they go on a 4-game win streak. They barely lose on the road against Memphis, 87-86, and then they turn around and they beat Penn State, who's halfway decent this year. I think they've got 11 or 12 wins so far. Ole Miss beat them. Of course, I think that was a home, not neutral site. I think that was at home. And then they play Oklahoma State and they lose 78-37. What? Maybe there's some things that happen in these games I'm not aware of. Maybe somebody was suspended or hurt. I don't know. They play a pretty tight one against Butler. I actually caught a little bit of that game. I thought they played okay, but Butler just was. I mean, they look pretty damn good this year. They lost 67-58, and then they go on another 4-game win streak. Of course, they don't beat anybody that great, and then they take on Wichita State. They lose 74-54. That could have been even uglier, and then they lost to Texas A&M. On the road, that's slightly understandable when you're an iffy ball club, but they lost by 10, and I think A&M at one point had a larger lead. So Ole Miss is not they're not very good. They rank right now points per game. They're ranked 256th in the country in scoring offense, 69 points a game. They're defensively, they're, a little bit below average on defense. They rank 86. They give up about 65 points a game. The only thing that they're halfway decent at, they're ranked 60th in assists. They're just not very good. They have a little bit of size. I think overall, glancing at their roster, they're a little bit bigger. But again, they've kind of rotated things quite a bit over at Ole Miss. But this should be a dub. It just should be. Stating the obvious here, Arkansas 12-2, 1-1 in conference. Again, Ole Miss somehow has managed a 9-5 record so far. Again, 0-1. I think as the year goes on, Ole Miss is just going to continue to fall. You're starting to see the rest of the SEC climb back up. But according to the ESPN Basketball Power Index, Arkansas is favored at 62%. Obviously, Ole Miss with the remaining 37 or so percentile, or 37 percentage, somewhere in there. This is it's going to be an interesting matchup. They don't do anything great, and Arkansas's got. Obviously with Mason Jones, who continues to really be the best player on this roster. Bailey playing the way that he has. Witt with that unbelievable mid-range jumper, and of course Isaiah Joe. I thought Eric Musselman brought up something pretty true. He said, if we got to hit, what did he say, 10 to 12 threes a game to win or something. Couldn't be more right. Because that performance against LSU wasn't terrible. I thought they played great, really. I did. We had a post-game here. I bragged. I said there's nothing to hang your head about here. They played a damn good game against a pretty salty opponent on the road. But when you get When you get out rebounded like that, that's unbelievable. What was it, 53-25 or something? Offensive boards. Arkansas had 3 offensive rebounds to their 23 or whatever. That's terrible. That's bad. Those are such bad numbers. They got to do a better job. I don't know. We could sit here and talk about boxing out all day long. When you're not big and physical, or you're not at least a little bit more physical inside, that's just what's going to happen. They have managed to do a good job of fighting around the fact that they don't have size. Obviously, they're 12-2. They're doing something right. But if you don't think that rebounding is a problem, you just saw how it cost you a game. Musselman said it himself. Got to do better on the boards. And LSU just had more trips to the free throw line. I think it was funny, too. He said we got to learn to take fouls like they do or something along those lines. Yeah, I'm standing by what I said. That was one of the worst officiated games I've seen this year. I don't care. Don't at me. I'll just ignore it. That was one of the worst officiated games I've seen all year. It's a bunch of bullshit, and we all know it. Even LSU fans, some of them admitted it. 256th in scoring offense against our defense. Muss was pissed at Chaney. Yeah, I didn't hear that. I'm going to have to go back and try and find that. I thought it was 21, but I think it was closer to 30. Chaney playtime will be questionable this week. Yeah, apparently he went off. I must have missed that. I love it when you hate on Arkansas State. I hate Arkansas State. And here's the reason why I hate Arkansas State. Well, first off, it's just natural. I don't know. It's just kind of natural. But it's I don't know. Arkansas's down, and all of a sudden, they're fans. They're just ridiculous. I have only ever known 2 Arkansas State fans in my entire life. I didn't like either one of them, so maybe that's why. I don't know. I must have missed that the whole thing on Chaney because I was trying to get prepared for the Hog Talk for the 55th episode, and I was going through what he had to say, and I didn't hear that part on Chaney. I don't know if that was something he said maybe after when they're in the hallway and the media just kind of catches him as he's walking by. Was it in that scenario where he was talking about it? Because I don't know. I didn't hear that. Free throws were weird. Arkansas couldn't get to the line until like the last 3 minutes. Yeah, and if you go back and watch that LSU game, the first half, when the refs swallowed their whistles and they let them play ball and they called things evenly by not calling every little thing, Arkansas was pulling away. This could have easily been, I think the largest lead was 11, maybe 11 or 12 points. This thing could have easily gotten to 15, 16 points. And then they started calling the fouls, and LSU just shrunk that lead and had a couple back-to-back threes. Arkansas gets teed up. They definitely made mistakes. LSU did a good job adjusting. They're a good basketball team. LSU is considered a tournament team. You went on the road and should have beaten a tournament team. Western Kentucky was a tournament team until they lost their guy, until Bassey went down. I hate them too. Try living with these idiots. And they are just difficult to deal with on Twitter. I had them triggered for a while. I made fun of them on a video. Well, I didn't make fun of them, but I mentioned something about them, and a few Arkansas State fans caught it, and they went off on me on Twitter. It was pretty great. His after-game presser. Again, I'll go back and find it. I grew up in Batesville, about 30 minutes from Jonesboro, and I still wasn't an ASU fan. Woo, pig suey. Here's the funny thing. They could go undefeated for a while and Arkansas be where they're at, and this state would still be 99.9% Arkansas fans. All right, you're irrelevant in your own state when you're better than we are at football. It's kind of why I want to play them eventually. Eventually, when they get this thing figured out, I'd love to just beat the living hell out of them. He talked about Chaney in his LSU recap yesterday. Yeah, okay. All right, in his recap. Okay. Yeah, I missed that. So what I usually do is I like to take the post game every once in a while, and I'll record it or I'm not going to let out my company secrets, but I have a way where I can capture that footage, and it's not an industry secret. It's not that hard to find this software, but I usually like to do that, and then I'll go back and I'll watch and then cut little clips. We did that with episode 55. So I was like, he was only up there for a few minutes, but I didn't ever go there, but I've lived here my whole life. God bless you, Kelly Marie. That's ridiculous. State fans are rejected Hog fans. How many Arkansas State fans do you know that are just purely Arkansas State fans? Like, that's my question. Every Arkansas fan that I know from there that happen to be Arkansas State fans, they're always like, yeah, I mean, they are Arkansas after all. I don't know. What else was there to talk about? I thought I had another topic. I don't remember. What are we at running? What's our time frame? Well, we're coming up on 45 minutes. Most of the people in Jonesboro are not Arkansas State fans. Yeah, I don't know any that aren't also Razorback fans. Yeah. There was a time where I was like, you know what, whatever. Back in the, when they changed classification, they were able to play at this level and they joined the Sun Belt and everything. I thought, yeah, okay, good for them. They got a team over there, cool. And then their fans just happened, and it was, I don't know. I know a guy that hates Arkansas and loves Arkansas State. Well, you know what? Tell him he was raised wrong. All right, I think that's going to do it. There's really not much else to talk about. I'm not going to have a post game for the Ole Miss game. Not going to be able to do it, but we will record Hog Talk episode 56 on Sunday, and then we'll be back here on Monday. Thank you guys so much. Remember to like, comment, share. Well, don't comment. That's stuck in my head. Remember to like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the links down below to my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much. I gained one this week. Awesome. I really do appreciate that. And if you want to check those links out, they're provided for you down below. If you don't want to join the Patreon, which is a minimum of $4 a month, there's a PayPal link if you want to throw a little tip in the old tip jar. But 5-star offensive line, O-lineman coming thanks to Pittman. Yeah, Sean, we touched on that earlier. You were late, Sean. They can't pack a stadium. It's 20,000 people. They took seats out after they built the waterfall. Where are we on assistants? Have all the slots been filled? Yes, they have. U of A Razorbacks fan. I went over that. I had the list. They're filled. Thanks, Logan. Logan did a good job. I haven't fired him yet. Yes, U of A fan. All full. Wow. That's ridiculous. Okay. I'll see you guys on Monday. Be good. Woo pig. And yeah. Be careful out there. Roads are slick. I know we've had crazy warnings all day, so keep your phone on you. Hopefully we don't get blown away up here in Springdale. So, all right. See you guys on Monday. Be good.